Okay. Hello, everybody. This is still episode 46.
Part 2.
Part 2. A lot of people probably recognized that theme. It is from the 1985 Steven Spielberg classic, Back to the Future.
And Robert Zemeckis,
Yes.
director of Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Beautiful. Think about, so this is this a perfect movie, Cam?
I think it has every aspect to make it a perfect movie.
Sure, and then I just thought about this as you were playing that intro, but it's Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, and then John Williams as the composer. It doesn't get any better than that, you know what I mean? Tell me your thoughts on Back to the Future, Cam, and then we'll just let the conversation go how it goes.
Yeah, so how many times do you think you've seen it?
Dude, way too many.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Even to the point where I probably haven't sat down and watched it in a year or two, but I still knew scene by scene what was going to happen next. Because in childhood, this movie was on all the time.
Yeah, so there's a lot of debate on what, so it's a trilogy.
Yep.
Basically, a lot of people have differing opinions on which one's the greatest of the three.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But I think it's probably the first one.
I think 1 and 2 are equal, to be honest.
Okay.
I love the second one so much, and I like the third one a lot, but I think it's just one tier below the first and second.
I think the second one has the most flaws as a movie, but I think it might be the most fun.
I think it's the most fun.
Because you go to the future, present, and the past.
You relive the first movie in the second one. I think it's right on top with the first one. But the first one by itself, I think it is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
I can't think of a movie that's more entertaining, better written. I love the way they set up the beginning of the movie because it gives you all the clues of things that he figures out when he goes to the past. And the writing is amazing.
Yeah, and it's not like different actors playing a younger version of a different actor. It's all the same actors, just with a bunch of makeup.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot how rough, no offense, but they mean to do this, but the mom looks rough in the beginning. And then when, obviously she's like really cute when he goes to the past, but then when he comes back to the future, which is also the perfect name for the movie. Yeah. It's such a perfect name for a movie. But she's looks great. Yeah. She looks so much better. So does George.
So does George, because he basically sticks up to Biff and isn't bullied Biff for the rest of his life after high school. I
forgot how important of a message that was in this movie, was that it's important to stand up for yourself. That's George's whole story. Like, it totally changes his whole life. Standing up in that one moment.
Changes Biff's life too.
Yeah, it reverses the roles
from
completely.
From being like a car dealership owner or whatever, he was like a business owner.
Successful.
Successful business owner, to working for a book writer detailing his cars. I guess he still kind of owns his own business because he's like a car detailer.
I think he's more of like a middleman than he is like upper management. Like it seems like either way, whatever he is, he's not nearly as successful. I love that line too. It comes full circle at the end of the movie because he's like, "Did you do the second coat of paint?" He's like, "I'm just finishing it up now." Now, Biff, don't lie to me. Oh, I meant I'm just starting it now. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Did you know, by the way, as a lot of people know, I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. The guy who plays Biff, his name escapes me right now, but he's a very famous comedian. And he starts a lot of his sets with like, "Yes, I'm that asshole from Back to the Future. That's me." I highly recommend checking him out. Are you looking up his name? Yeah, he's a really funny stand-up comic. And that's how he got his role as Biff. But it's funny because you wouldn't really think that because he's a dick as Biff. Although he does have some pretty funny lines when he's like, "Why don't you make like a tree? Get out of here." Yeah. And then in the second one, "You're about as useful as a screen door on a battleship." And then in the background, he's like, "It's a submarine, you dummy." Amazing.
Yeah. It's Thomas F. Wilson.
Thomas F. Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Also,
yeah. What's up, buddy?
So, they change, like Marty's love interest actresses.
Really?
Yeah, so...
from the beginning of the movie to the end?
Yeah, so, in the second movie, it starts out with how the first movie ends.
Yeah.
With, like...
Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Yeah.
So that... what's her name?
Jennifer.
Yeah. So it's Claudia Wells in the first one.
Okay.
And then
so it's the same girl the whole first one.
Yeah.
And then they change it for the second movie.
Yeah.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's the reason why they start out the second one with a different actress.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's the same. It's the same girlfriend, just a different actress.
I never even realized that.
Yeah, which is actually the love interest in Karate Kid.
No way! Is it really?
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Are we gonna do Back to the Future Part 2 next week?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll look out for that when we watch it.
Yep. Elizabeth Shue.
Also, Karate Kid's on our 80s movie list, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta wax on and you gotta wax right back off.
Yep. 1984 was Karate Kid.
Oh, dude, what a span of like 18 months at the movies. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Cam, do you have a favorite?
I didn't know that until my dad pointed that out to me.
That's really cool. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So we'll have to look out for that.
Yeah,
and talk about that
I think it's
week.
Because she doesn't play a big role in the second one.
She's
really
unconscious on a bench for the entire movie, which is hilarious.
So that's why not a lot of people noticed it. But yeah, my dad was like, "Did you notice that's what's her? I just saw it. Her name in Karate Kid."
Oh, I do not remember. Sadly, it's been a couple of years.
Allie.
Okay, it's been a couple of years since I've seen that one. I just remember Daniel-san. And, what's the bully's name? Obviously, Mr. Miyagi is the teacher.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's Billy Zabka, but that's not his.
You just know that because of How I Met Your Mother, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the bully's name, sadly.
Johnny Lawrence.
Johnny Lawrence, that's right, dude. Do you watch Cobra Kai?
No, I need to. Though.
It's on Netflix now, which is cool. We're definitely going to do Karate Kid at some point.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, circling back to the Future, Cam, do you have a favorite character in this movie? I know it's hard to pick. There's so many good ones.
Well, yeah, probably Marty McFly.
Yeah. Shout out to Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, but
killing it in this role.
I do like George McFly, the younger version.
The younger version.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about young George? Boy George, we'll call him.
The nerdiness of him and just being super shy. And then he's like visited by Darth Vader.
I'm your density.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Oh. It's so good, dude. He owns the nerdiness so much.
Yep.
And then it's so heartbreaking because then he finally gets it out and he's like, I'm your destiny. And she's like, oh. Like you can tell she has no interest.
Yeah.
Dude, I always forget how hilariously uncomfortable the scenes with the mom are.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's trying to get in his pants hard, dude. She's trying to break away from her parents and have a little adventure. And he wants none of it.
Yep.
What's your name, Calvin? It's written all over your underwear. Oh, yeah. It's amazing, dude.
Whoever's trying to get with her son. What?
Yeah.
From Stranger Things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when he's all drugged out.
Yeah. Why is it... they never actually go to the future. Then why is it called Back to the future? Because they have to get back to the present, which is in the future.
From the past.
What?
And then in the second one, they go all over the place, which is awesome.
I think that's why there's like issues.
Sure, maybe it's the plot's not as tight.
Yeah, but
that's the one. That's the thing about this one, the first one. The plot is perfect.
Yeah,
it makes like that. Like I said, the way they set up the beginning of the movie compared to like all the payoffs is awesome. All the hints they give about the clock tower and the flyer and all that is awesome.
Is it 120 weight?
1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts.
What did I just say? And then he rewinds it. 1.21 gigawatts. What? Yeah, he's like running around. I love how it was a big phrase in the 80s, but Marty keeps saying heavy. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. And he's like, why do you say? I laughed so hard. He's like, why do you say heavy? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull in the future? Yeah. And then Marty just goes, what? Hilarious. This is heavy.
Yeah, and then. Either in the first one or the second one, Marty says "Great Scott," and Doc says "This is heavy."
I think that happens in both of them. Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Their relationship together, which I would like to know how they met. It never explains that, but that would be super interesting to figure out.
Kind of prequel. They'd have to definitely use different actors and actresses because they're old.
Yeah, you know? I think who is it that plays Doc Brown? Do you remember his name? Emmett Smith? No, that's his name. Dr. Emmett Doc Brown, yeah.
It's Dr. Emmett Brown.
Emmett Brown. Emmett Smith was a football player.
Yep. Do you know what team he played for?
Ooh, this is fun. The 49ers. Am I close? I don't know how to be close. Like regionally?
Not regionally, but both in the NFC. And they had a pretty good rivalry in like the
Colts.
80s. Colts are in the AFC.
Oh, they are in the AFC. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna get 2 more guesses, and then we'll move on. Emmitt Smith
played with
the Vikings.
No, I'm trying to think of the quarterback during that time.
Okay.
Number 8. He's an NFL guy. NFL analysis on NFL Network.
Terry Bradshaw.
Yes.
He played with Terry Bradshaw?
I think so.
I don't know who Terry Bradshaw. The Cowboys.
Yep.
Nice.
But Beautiful. Terry Bradshaw played with the Steelers, so it's not Terry Bradshaw.
Ah, damn. But Emmitt Smith was on the
Cowboys.
I don't know how we got there, but we got there. But yeah, I love Doc Brown.
It was Roger Staubach played with the Cowboys, but I think it was way before Emmitt Smith. But
I don't know. I don't even know current NFL, let alone 40 years ago.
Yeah, Emmitt Smith played with the Cowboys.
Very cool.
That's all I know.
Awesome. Did you look up his name, though?
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, that's right.
It's weird, too, in Big Bang Theory, because
Go ahead.
They're big Back to the Future fans, like the whole group.
Yeah.
But then Sheldon moves out and rents his room out to Christopher Lloyd, but he plays a completely different character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you guys talk about Back to the Future all the time.
So they don't even mention that, oh my god, it's Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, he plays a different character.
Sure,
he
plays
play
somebody,
yeah.
Like, just like Josh Whedon always plays Josh Whedon in...
Will Wheaton.
Yeah, this happened last time. I gotta ask you a question in 1 second. Who's the guy who plays George McFly? What's his name?
I don't know.
Crispin Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, did you ever see the I can't believe we didn't start with this. Did you ever see the Crispin Glover late night the Late Show? I think it was with Johnny Carson when he like freaked out.
Mm-mm.
Dude, we might have to watch this on air.
Have you ever seen Like Mike?
No, I've never seen Like Mike.
Wow. But he plays the foster dad in Like Mike.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it was on Letterman. Here, if you want to watch it, just put the audio up to the. If we get copyright strike, we can just cut this out. But dude, he's freaky. It's like Infamous.
I'm having a very good summer. Where do you live now? You live in Los Angeles? Yes, that's right. In Los Angeles. I just bought a nice condominium.
Condominium? Where's it located?
It's located just over the hill in the valley, and I'm really happy about it.
Did for a time you lived in Hollywood? You lived on Hollywood Boulevard?
In Hollywood Boulevard?
On Hollywood Boulevard?
No.
Had an apartment overlooking Hollywood Boulevard? A big high building you live in? Big tower on Hollywood?
No.
Oh, it gets crazy, dude. Just wait.
We'll just drop that and go on to something else, all right?
It's like the most awkward interview ever.
Do you do a lot of television shows?
Oh, yes. Now, because I've been in movies that are big, and I'm a movie star, so I've been on talk shows on the Johnny Carson show, and now I'm here, and I've been all across the United States, and I feel really good about it. So.
What'd they say?
Do you enjoy the experience?
Yes, I feel very good about them.
I notice you have something there in the case.
I knew that this was going to happen, and can I tell you, because the press, they can do things, they can twist things around, and because...
He's so nervous.
He's nervous.
You're talking... Look, the press says things about you in the paper. This is a paper, the LA Weekly in Los Angeles, and they said about me, it was at, I went to a club, and they said that it was at a meeting, and it said Crispin Glover, who was in a frenzy. Though his bark is actually worse than his ... You get the point. And
Paul, anything you'd like to add here?
And then another one, they said Crispin Glover.
Paul, is this the first time you've seen another guy drown? Is this the first time you've watched a guy die?
Is that you're talking about you or him?
No, me.
This is the other thing. They said Crispin Glover was pinstripe, and
Is he standing up yet?
Sound a lot weird, and I'm strong, you know. I'm strong. I can arm wrestle. Do you want to arm wrestle?
Now he's standing.
Now he's kicking.
Yeah, the kicking. What is he kicking? He's like throwing air kicks out. Yeah, so a lot of people associate Crispin Glover with that famous interview because it's like so just chaotic and crazy.
Yeah. He just looks so nervous.
He looks nervous, so I think like I thought it was really good acting when he plays the nerdy guy in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I think that's just him as a person.
Yeah, he kind of plays not really like a nerdy guy, just he stumbles a lot over his words and it's kind of like a shy character like Mike.
Sure. Which is at around the same time of Back to the Future?
2003. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
That's a little Bow Wow.
Yeah, I know what it is, and I know of the movie. I've just never seen it.
The bully is who's the guy? Spoiler for Breaking Bad if anybody hasn't seen it.
Cut out because if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, that's one of the best shows ever. So if you want it, you should watch it.
What's his name?
So
in
cut
the
out
show?
for 1 second.
Yeah, who's the guy that shoots the kid after they steal the methyl from the
combo?
No, the teen redhead.
Oh, Todd in the fifth season.
Yes.
Yeah, a couple kids die unfortunately in that show. I was thinking about on the bike in the third season. Yeah. Todd. Who, Jesse Plemons is in that movie.
Yeah.
Dude, Jesse Plemons is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, he's only 16, I think, back then. But yeah, he plays kind of like a bully. Like Mike.
That's cool. He also.
It's a great movie.
I liked Jesse Plemons ever since I saw him in Breaking Bad because he's so crazy in that movie. But he's been in a lot of other cool roles too, and he was one of the main characters, good guy, in one of the seasons of Fargo.
Okay.
And it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesse Plemons, great actor.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Maybe we should believe you haven't seen Like Mike.
Maybe we should do at some point a Like Mike episode.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. That's
I've
one of
never
my
seen
favorite movies of all time.
I don't even think I've seen.
Do you know what it's about?
No idea.
So he finds Michael Jordan's shoes.
Okay.
And he gets powers.
You're talking about holes. That joke failed. Okay, move on.
No, it's also not Michael Jordan.
I know, and it's cleats. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I was just making a joke.
Okay. But yeah, so he gets these shoes from donation box because he's a foster kid, so he lives in a foster home.
Holes.
Yeah. But he just finds these shoes in the donation box, and when he says "Make me like Mike," he doesn't turn into him, but he gets the basketball abilities of Michael Jordan.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Where can I find these shoes?
I wish I knew.
Because our team would be balling if we were both playing like Mike.
I say "Make me like Mike" each time I tie my shoes.
It does.
I'm not like Mike at all.
You're taller than him. I have no idea how tall he was. He was probably 6'7" or 6'8", maybe.
I don't know. He might have been my height.
You're 6'4". You're 6'4". I think you're taller than that. Maybe I'm just so short that you just look taller than that.
Rob's 6'8", if that tells you anything.
Oh wow, yeah, that does tell me.
Yeah.
God, Rob's big. Rob and big.
I knew that reference.
There you go. Yeah. We'll do like Mike episode at some point because I've never seen it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, circling back. So yeah, I just watching this movie. I just think about that interview every time because Crispin Glover is so out there. But it just looks like they were basically like, hey, just be Crispin Glover for this movie, and he was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite character besides obviously Biff? And
I hate the principal.
That I couldn't remember his name, Sweeney or whatever.
Yep, Sweeney.
Whatever it is. No, that's Boy Meets World. Whatever the guy's name is in this movie. He's
Mr. Strickland.
Strickland, that's right. And then you see him. It's so funny when he plays the Johnny Be Good song, and at the end, Strickland's like holding his ears. It's so funny to see him like that. All the throwbacks in this movie are great. The whole setup and then the way they throw it back in the past is awesome. And the way they bring it back even again in the second movie is great.
What was I going to say? The school dance is a lot of fun.
Classic scene.
Marvin.
Marvin. He basically invents rock and roll. Marvin, it's your cousin Marvin. Marvin Berry. You know that new noise you were looking for?
Hey Chuck. Hey Chuck.
Yeah, hey Chuck. Yeah. Well, I just found it. That's awesome.
Because Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry. Yep.
Johnny B. Good.
Yep. Absolutely. And that it's so funny when he shreds on the guitar and
Yeah.
the people can't even comprehend what's happening.
Yeah. I like too how the song hasn't even been around yet, and he's like, "This is an oldie," and then he's like, "Oldie where I'm from."
Oldie where I'm from, yeah. And then at the end, everybody's confused because they like it at first,
yeah.
And then when he does the guitar solo, they're kind of confused and lost because like Jimi Hendrix, none of that's even happened yet, and so he's like, "Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet." But your kids are gonna love it.
Yep.
It's awesome.
And then he's talking to his parents in like the staircase, and he's like, "Your kid's gonna burn the living room carpet.
Yeah, do me
Take
one
it easy
favor.
on him."
Yeah. When he's 8 and he burns the carpet, take it easy on him.
Yep.
And George is like, okay. And then when he walks away, his mom's like, Marty. I like that name. Yeah. Dude, it's so, going back to when talking about how the mom is like crushing on him the whole time. It's so funny when they finally do kiss. And she's like, I don't want to be weird or anything, but when I kiss you, it feels like I'm kissing my brother. And then he's like, that makes perfect sense. It really does. And then I love, too, at the end when he's like, it was good spending time with you. It's been very educational. Yeah. It's awesome. The banter, the writing is just great in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's because, like, him growing up, his mom told him all these things of, like, how she was a goody two-shoes, didn't do all these things.
I never sat in a parked car with a boy.
Yeah.
And then she even says to him in the past, she's like, Marty, I'm almost 18. You act like I've never sat in a parked car with a boy before.
You act like I didn't know what park means.
Yeah. And then she's drinking, and he's like, God, Mom. Or he almost says Mom, and then he doesn't, and then he pulls it away. And then he does, like, a spit take. He's like, Jesus, you smoke, too? And then she's like, Marty, you're starting to sound like my mother. In his face. Yep. It's awesome, dude. This is like one of the most rewatchable movies that I've ever seen.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's just a fun, great time, tight writing.
It's also like seeing Back to the Future Part 2 also. The end scene also when the the hoverboard doesn't show up or anything. You're like, oh yeah, that's not until Part 2.
Oh yeah, and they redo that scene just differently. And it's funny too when in this movie when he rips the scooter handles off the skateboard.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Mister, you ruined it. And then he's riding around and they're like, wow, look at him go. Awesome. It's so cool, dude.
Because skateboards weren't around until like the 70s, right?
Yeah, I think so. You know what's funny about skateboards is, so I used to be a huge skateboarder in middle school and early high school and stuff. Apparently, so this movie came out in 1985, and apparently it was like one of the biggest things to ever happen to skateboards, because all the kids that saw this movie saw Marty skating around and hitching onto the car at the end. Skateboard sales for the next like 15 years went up like 800%, like something crazy. Steve-O, who was a skateboarder before he was on Jackass, talks about how him and a bunch of other kids got into skateboarding because of this movie, which is interesting because it's such a small part of the movie, but it made such a lasting impression on people at the time.
Especially because like you and I are about the same age. You're a little bit older than I am, but
thanks, Cam.
Yep. But I grew up knowing like grabbing onto a car or like on wheels will make you go faster than pedaling or anything
pushing,
like that. But a lot of kids back in like the 80s probably didn't know that until Back to the Future.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 80s was one of the biggest decades for skateboarding. So apparently this movie is like massively huge in skateboard culture, which like I said is ironic because it's not even about skateboarding at all.
Yeah. I mean, the second one, you got the hoverboard.
Yep.
That plays a big part of it.
Yeah, and the scene with him in the manure in this one is huge. It's just interesting that one scene stuck with the mind of so many kids. And it was the most asked Christmas gift that year in 1985.
Oh, okay.
Skateboards. Okay. So, Back to the Future.
What did my dad ask for one?
Did your dad have a skateboard? My dad used to have a skateboard when he was younger, and maybe, well, I guess no, because he would have been 15 before 1985. Sorry, Dad. Sorry to blow you up like that. Sorry.
Yeah, my dad was born in 74. So.
Yeah, my dad was born in 63.
Then he would have been 22.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was like, I wonder if he asked for it when he was in his teens, but his teens was in the 70s.
I see.
So that's why I was like, sorry, Dad, for blowing up your spot. We won't even talk about Mom. Right. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was
She graduated
cool
the year
fact.
this movie came out.
Cam.
She told us. She
I
doesn't
know,
care.
I know. Well, she told us, but she didn't tell the millions of listeners. That
Okay, we
have.
get 5, so... And
5
it's,
to 10,
it's
5
probably
to
your
10.
mom, Lauren, and my
My
parents.
aunt listens to this episode
Oh.
too. But 5 to 10. We
Yeah.
get a nice 5 to 10.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
It's
Well-
all people that probably know your mom, so...
What do you mean by that? Was there anything else you wanted to say about Back to the Future? Other than it's just perfect.
Yeah, I know we combined first and second one a lot in this episode.
And I'm sure when we do next week, we'll combine the second and the first one a
Yeah.
lot too.
So next week might be a little bit of a repeat, but we'll probably talk more about plot in the second one.
Yeah. And just relating it back to this one.
Yeah, because I think the second one does a great job of relating it back to a lot of the first one.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's why the third one, a lot of people consider that better than the second one, because it's a different storyline.
I would like, well, also being the same with Biff and stuff, so
Mhm.
I like how they tie that all back in. It would be very interesting to do episode 2 because we've already passed the date that he goes to in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in like
2015.
15,
He goes
yep.
30 years into the future.
Yep. So we'll talk about that and what they got right and what they got wrong.
Almost everything.
They got wrong.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's a few things that are around.
There's a couple
from
of
back
things. And think about how hard it is to predict the future.
then. Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
They didn't know about phones and all that yet. Phones are like maybe the big phones and the internet are like the 2
Yeah.
biggest inventions.
One of the ones that probably weren't around until the pandemic were those like video chats. I mean,
Sure.
they had that, but it wasn't as big until this year.
Yeah, and they also predicted the Cubs winning the World Series. And
Mhm.
it didn't happen on that year, but it happened in 2016, I think.
Yeah.
So they were really close because it had been...
I also remember the Cavs fans making fun of the Warriors blowing a 3-1 lead, and then the Indians blew a 3-1 lead
Yep.
in the World Series.
Yeah,
So,
hilarious. They're like, oh, Cleveland.
yeah.
But yeah, so it'll be fun to talk about that. And we can talk about more maybe of like the world rather than just talking about the first movie again.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, these movies are awesome and I'm excited to watch the second. And I really like, a lot of people don't like the third one. I love the third one.
Yeah. It's
They go to the Old West.
my dad said that might be his favorite one.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
And probably a lot of people that like Western movies like this one because it's a fun twist on Western movies. Cause
Absolutely.
it's like a futuristic way to look at the Old West
Yeah.
with people from the 80s or people that have visited the future. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm excited.
So, yeah.
Cool. So do you want to just do 3 weeks in a row, Back to the Future
Yeah.
weeks? Beautiful.
So yeah,
Sounds
next
great.
week we'll do Back to the Future Part 2, and then Back to the Future Part 3, and
Mhm.
then maybe Karate Kid. So
Oh my god, I'd be so in.
yeah, so still gonna do 80s, and then maybe we'll throw in like Mike because of I already forgot his name, George McFly's.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah, Crispin Glover
Mhm.
is in like Mike. So yeah,
Cool. Awesome. It'll be interesting to see because I know that his career famously like peaked with Back to the Future because it was such a big movie, and I've never seen him in anything else. So it would be interesting to watch him in a different role.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Have you seen American Pie?
Oh yeah, I've seen American Pie.
The dad is also in.
Really, the guy from Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, Schitt's Creek. Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but he's hilarious in
Yeah.
that show, and
He's
his
also
son
in
plays the son in that show.
Yeah.
He's also in what?
Cheaper by the Dozen.
He isn't. Wow, dude, that's
Part
a
2,
throwback
not
of a
part 1.
movie.
Part
Yeah,
2.
that's
like
a
the rich
throwback of
dad.
a movie. Those movies
Taylor
are
Lautner's in
great.
that,
Oh
too.
my goodness, yeah, too. Ashton Kutcher's in it too, isn't he?
Yeah.
He plays his
he's
son.
he's the first one. No, he's the boyfriend of the
The
oldest
boyfriend, that's
oldest
right.
daughter.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude, I haven't thought about Cheaper by the Dozen in forever. What a throwback.
Yeah.
Cheaper by the Dozen, add it to the list.
Yeah, we could do early 2000s.
God, we got a lot to cover.
Mhm.
Hope you guys are in for the ride because it's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome.
It's fun watching these movies and just talking about them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I hope you guys are enjoying us talking about them and
Mhm.
wanting to go watch them after we're done talking
Yeah.
about them as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and if you guys have not yet subscribed, you can do so right over here. And if you want to watch our most recent episode, it is right here. And if you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. And if you have any suggestions, leave it down in the comments.